Is it the afternoon now? It is the afternoon. Right, good afternoon then, mate. How are you?
I'm very well. You good self?
Oh, yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. Just real quick, people who don't know, please introduce yourself. That would be lovely.
My name's Hansi, and I work mainly at the Horn. Also do artwork and other bits and pieces. Got a little studio set up and run a little record label.
Nice.
So yeah, lots of different things, but
Yeah,
all kind of art and music based.
awesome. Was that always a thing you wanted to do? So from what I'm aware, you moved in from Sweden, right? When was that?
Yeah, I moved here in 1981 when I was 11.
Oh, right.
Um, so my dad was a jazz drummer. So
Nice.
music has always been in my family, and
Yeah.
that's where that all comes from, I suppose.
I mean, so that was like deeply ingrained then. Was it like a performance thing you wanted to carry, or was it always the desire to like work with sound, which is what you do for us?
Um, yeah, I mean, I was in kind of original bands and stuff
Yeah.
from when I was at school and everything, and yeah, just kind of fell in love with the whole music thing, kind of it just kind of all just happened from there, really.
Yeah.
So
Was there like a distinct cut-off point? Do you remember from jumping from behind? Was it drums you played? What was it that you done?
I was a bass player.
Bass, very sweet. Was it bass you always wanted to do? Was there like a certain cut-off point and you were like, actually, I want to put it down and not work on stage, but rather with it? Or did it was like a slow
Well,
transition?
yeah. I mean, I used to run a night at the Horn back in the early '90s called
Right.
Club Gotta. Used to run that every Wednesday, and we used to have DJs in between, and I
Yeah.
started DJing in between the bands and stuff.
Nice.
Then suddenly I got an absolute ton of bookings DJing, and I spent the next 15 years traveling up and down the country DJing in the house boom.
Nice.
I based down then, and haven't really played it since.
I mean, was it like hot wax vinyl pressing sort of DJing, or was it just like mixing songs and samples? What was it? I'm curious about this as well.
Well, it was both. I mean, I had a small
Yeah.
studio set up with an Akai sampler, and I was releasing
Nice.
stuff. And yeah, so I mean, it was vinyl all the way.
Yeah.
I've still got about 5,000 vinyls sitting here at home.
Nice.
So yeah, but yeah, these days, if I DJ out, it's generally not on vinyl because I haven't bought
Yeah.
vinyl in about 10 years. It's so expensive. So
Yeah. I mean, like, was that not only is it expensive, I guess from nowadays it's probably just easier to go without it in terms of moving equipment, I can imagine. Like you don't need to bring it
yeah,
with you
yeah,
if
and
you
I
have
don't
vinyl.
play so much these days. I do the odd cameo appearance here and there, but
Nice.
about it really.
I mean, so like I'm wondering then, have you ever DJ'd in Sweden or have you been back there? So I guess you've been back there since. But like
Yeah, yeah, my
have you
sister.
noticed you still got family out there?
Yeah, yeah, my
Yeah.
sister's out there and stuff. So there is one place I've never actually played DJ'd
Nice.
is in Sweden, funnily enough. So
There's an
yeah,
excuse.
yeah.
There's an excuse. Was there like is it a different scene then out there, or is it quite similar? Is there a different approach to the way you work at sound or play on stage? What would it be up there? Was it just
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, before the Swedish House Mafia, I don't think there was.
yeah,
I kind of went through the rave era here, which is kind of what really turned my head.
yeah,
And that was very much of an English thing rather than a Swedish thing. The house music sort of kind of came a lot later there.
yeah,
And by that time, I settled down here and yeah, was very happy, and I'm still here. So
yeah. Fair enough. I
yeah.
mean, was it always with Juicebox and or at the Horn you started working with live bands? When would that be? I'm wondering. Was it
Well,
like
I mean, even when we used to do the Club Gaia down at the Horn,
yeah?
that was bands and DJs. I mean, there was a band called Reef. I don't remember if you remember the Reef from the '90s.
I
They
would
played
not
their
know.
first gig there. So yeah, I mean, whether it's recorded, whether it's DJing or live, as long as it's loud, I don't care.
Sweet. I mean, I worked with you before, and you made me and my band sound loud, and it was great. So I know that for a fact. I know you
Yeah.
favour that, so that's all good. But like, I'm wondering with that then, was it like an opportunity that was raised to you, or was it just like a slowly building knowledge of like working with bands and like checking, doing sound checks and like night managing?
It was actually jump into the deep end. I used to spend a couple of months DJing every Friday night at the Horn, and they had cover bands there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had a small studio set up, and I got on really well with the sound engineer. So I was always going, "Oh, why are you doing it like that? What are you doing there?" And then Adrian, who was the promoter at the time, said, "Do you know any sound engineers? We need someone for New Year's Eve," which was actually Millennium Eve.
Right.
Oh, what's the pay? And it's like 150 quid. And I go, I can do it.
I could do that.
Yeah. So my first live sound engineering was Millennium Eve.
Nice. I guess like from there, was it just like a not a weekly thing? Was it like you can come back to it and know you'll be trusted with it then?
Yeah. I mean, Gideon was the head engineer there, and he used to pretty much every night. And then I just used to fill in as and when, and
nice.
absolutely loved it. And it is, when you're DJing, you're basically just using 2 channels, which after a while, it's not very, it's not that difficult really. So to actually have a whole desk with loads of channels, it was, it was a challenge, and it was extremely exciting, and I still absolutely love it.
Awesome.
Still my favourite job is running around with leads and microphones and having a big desk.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to know that we can still have that guaranteed in the future as well. Because there was a hot point in this year where it was like, oh God, a lot of these people may not be able to get this work for a longer time, but it's good to know we're protected in that sense now. It's a nice feeling because it's satisfying. And like, when you say you had a studio, was it like your own at home that you could like bring like a
it was just a home studio. Had an old Atari Akai S3000 and an analog desk and a couple of FX units and stuff. So yeah. Now I've just got a laptop with Ableton Live. So yeah.
I recently got Ableton during lockdown along with an Akai MPC Mini. Just a little like mini keyboard with 8 pads and a few channels on it. Yeah, like it's great, but like Ableton I find is quite not depressing, but the layout of it, especially I think I'm on Live 10, it looks it's a lot. It's a lot when you look at it. And like I'm still finding so much trouble getting my head around it, trying to figure it out, because it's just like so many tabs and channels, and like I've only got about 2 preset packs or like sample packs, but even that is just hurting my head. So how do you approach that when you open it up? This is not for me now because I'm lost on this. This is my own advice here.
Yeah. Well, when I started Ableton Live, I started when it was number 5, I think.
Right.
I paid for an 8-week intensive online course.
Right.
Just to so I kind of know it inside out now.
Yeah.
So it becomes second nature, like anything that you're constantly using.
Yeah.
You just get, it's like Photoshop. I've been using that since Photoshop 1.
Yeah.
I can fly around that, but I still probably have only scratched the surface of what either of them can do. I know exactly what to do for what I need it for, and that's the main thing. So.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I'm still so terrified by it, but I can't wait to know how to work it and to make my own things. But also, I know for a fact that I'll still know nothing, like you said. Like there's
I mean, you just need to know what you need for the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, do you find, because obviously you worked with vinyl at the start, and you still got all the racks of them. Did you ever find like an internal? I'm curious about this, like an internal artistic argument, like you had to bring the vinyl because it was like right or it felt better. I'm wondering, was there like an internal sort of battle between like artist purity or whatever? I'm wondering, were you just so happy with the change because it was easier?
Well, I do love the vinyl.
Yeah.
And I mean, I personally think you have to have played on vinyl to be able to DJ properly. I mean, I still got decks set up, and I have been very rarely these days. Yeah, I mean, vinyls are great. And as you can see, I now spray onto them. So
yeah, like, is there a website you can purchase them? Because I want to get one. And like, what's the process of making them? Because I wanted to ask you about this as well, because they're beautiful, and we have them in.
Right, yeah. So I just do them. I just do commission based. I've got a Facebook page, got an Instagram page, and that's it. So you could get in touch either way. Charge 40 quid for one.
Nice.
And yeah, you can either just pick an artist or pick an image or whatever, and then I'll get busy with my spray cans. So they're all done with stencils and spray cans, very much like Banksy does his artwork.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I've seen them for obviously for years at the Horn, but I never knew it was you until like recently during the first lockdown.
Right, yeah.
Because they've been there for. Were they like? Did Luke commission you for them? Did you do them for a laugh? I'm wondering now.
No, it was a friend of mine, an old DJ friend, Bruce. He got asked to do some artwork on vinyl for an art exhibition in London.
Nice.
Where it was at a bar called Monty's, and it was called the Vinyl Destination.
Nice.
And he brought a couple of pieces round to show me, and I'm going, oh wow, that's wicked! I want to have a go on that. So he said, yeah, I'll put you in touch with a person. You can submit up to 4 pieces of work.
Yeah.
I made 4 pieces very quickly. All 4 got accepted, and I sold 2 of them.
Nice.
So, and then I took them down the Horn and showed a few people, and especially the old chef. He'd bought a ton load for Christmas for all his mates and bandmates and stuff. And it kind of just started there. And then I saw that you could get UV light, and it's like, oh, UV paint.
Yeah.
I thought, I've got to make some for the venue room. So I just went ahead and did them. So
nice. Is there what's the name of like your website or Instagram handle so I can track it down?
It's Iconic Vinyl.
Awesome. Cheers, mate.
So yeah, that's on Facebook and Instagram. So if you just search Iconic Vinyl, and you'll find it.
Awesome. Cheers, man. Right, my last little quick question for you before I let you go. Is there a new band you've listened to recently, like a new artist, local artist, anything like that? I'm just curious.
There's a question. I mean, I listen to so much. That's a question. Yeah, I mean, there's I don't know really. It'd be difficult to pick one out. I've been really getting into Broken Ankles.
Okay.
So yeah.
Just them.
Yeah.
Just them. Right, mate. Is there anything else you want to check out while you're here? Anything you want to promote?
No. Maybe my my record label's called Viking Grooves. I've got a site on Bandcamp. And basically I take old 70s funk and soul tunes and whack them through Ableton and spice them up.
Oh, is that all you then, the record label, or do you put other people on there as well?
That was the intention a little while ago, but at the moment it's just all my stuff. There's probably about 80 or 90 tunes up there at the moment, so there's a good selection. And mainly probably James Brown, because he's one of my heroes. So
yeah, I think it's been a running theme on this show. People really love James Brown. People mention that.
Oh, he was just phenomenal. How he changed things through music was quite incredible.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was a bit of a bastard, but I think sometimes you have to be to get somewhere.
Oh, I need to. What would be the starting point for James Brown? Because it's got to the point now. I feel like I've got to start somewhere. Because I love so.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he started in the 50s and then carried all the way through to the 80s. So he's got massive. I mean, for me, it's the late 60s, from about 67 on till end of the 70s. For me, that's that key area where he moved from playing soul music to where he started the whole funk scene.
Nice.
So yeah.
Awesome, man.
That's the key area. That's where all the fun stuff is.
Yeah, man. So was it Broken Knees and James Brown? Basically, that's what it is. That's the recommendation in the end. Fair play, mate. Right. Thank you very much for this. Hope it was good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Speak to you.
Good to speak to you too, man. Enjoy the coffee, enjoy your day, and hopefully I'll see you soon on the dance floor, or wherever the hell that may be. I'll see you about.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice one.
Mate, take it easy, man.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you.